Today's fundraisers enter the profession and the nonprofit sector motivated by human needs, needs that are not served by other sectors, business, or government. People want to heal, to educate, to inspire, or to preserve. Belief in the causes that a fundraising professional serves is of utmost importance. For the fundraiser, our satisfaction is derived from the results, often intangible, often not visible until sometime in the future. People helping people. A career as a fundraiser must include idealism and enthusiasm, but also must be balanced with accountability, business-like behavior, and practical action. At the bottom of it all, there is reality. Most work in the nonprofit sector, healing, education, entertaining, preserving, etc., will not happen unless someone brings in the dollars. The more fundraising is integrated into the entire organization, rather than it's just the fundraiser's job, the more successful the organization will be. The fundraising profession has a distinction entitled Certified Fundraising Executive, or CFRE. Individuals with this earned distinction have a minimum of 5 years of full-time experience as a fundraiser, have taken many fundraising courses, raised a specific amount of dollars through various methods, and passed a board examination in order to have the CFRE distinction. Most of us in the world understand the significance of an accountant becoming a CPA, Certified Public Accountant. It's an assurance of accounting knowledge. The same goes for a CFRE and the assurance of fundraising knowledge. I entered the fundraising arena in 1995. In 2001, I passed the requirements to sit for my CFRE board exam. In order to retain my certification, I must continually take courses, raise a certain amount of dollars, and volunteer for other nonprofit organizations. This is renewed every 3 years. More and more, young adults are choosing this as a career straight out of college. I have mentored many young recruits, and some not as young, into this profession because I believe in its value to our institutions, and also because I believe strongly in the personal satisfaction it gives to us as humans when we attempt to help mankind physically, mentally, or spiritually through our dollars, our volunteer efforts, and our prayers. God is the nucleus of inspiration, and my job is to be His instrument in bringing about the joy of giving, the joy of needs being met, and celebrating when the two come together. I can't imagine doing anything else. This is the career God led me to, and I praise Him for it. Despite the growth of fundraising, which I have spoken about, and the history that transformed it from a practice to a profession, there still appears to be a key factor that is missing at times. That key factor is respect for the profession. I can't even count the times I have been referred to as a professional beggar. Most often this is due to a lack of understanding of best practices and that larger donations come through developed relationships which take time to mature. Our best laid plans can be sunk by recessions, change in leadership, and factors we have no control over. Yes, those things happen, and thus we have to be flexible as well as willing to change our plans accordingly. Just as leadership is vital to the health and success of any organization, so a pastor's role as leader is vital to all fundraising efforts in the church. But with that role comes a paradox. The pastor must lead, but at times must follow as well. Sometimes the pastor is the right person to lead a campaign or to ask for a donation or make an appeal. And sometimes a church elder or a lay member is the right person. It all depends. It's all about the rights, the right person, the right time, the right appeal or campaign. This should be well thought out. What is certain is that a pastor must be fully supportive of any fundraising effort, including major endeavors such as capital campaigns. Without the visible support from the leader, the best laid plans and most enthusiastic church members will flounder and maybe even fail at the project. Achieving a good balance between the role and actions of a leader with the activity of committees and the entire congregation is indeed a balancing act. So what is the ideal role for a pastor to play in a fundraising campaign, be it small or large? First, be part of the planning committee, whether a committee of the church board or a special steering committee. Attend the meetings. Avoid dominating the conversation. Be a role model in carrying out duties. Be a role model in giving. Remember, it's not about the amount. However, leadership must be the first to pledge, and ideally, a sacrificial gift, whatever amount that happens to be for you. Secondly, preach about the benefits of generosity, both in biblical terms as well as secular evidence of the benefits of giving. Information is available from PSI if you need it. Please avoid asking the congregation to give on the spur of the moment or as a group or with a formula such as, if 100 people give $100 each, we will reach our goal. By the way, studies indicate those formulas are never a true success. Thirdly, understand and embrace the principles of what is the structure and process of a successful campaign today, as outlined in Successful Fundraising, a special handbook for pastors and churches prepared by PSI and distributed through Advent Source. If you haven't received a copy, please be sure to get one. It is a wonderful resource and guide to lead you to successful results. PSI also maintains a list of qualified fundraising experts to recommend to you for questions and advice. Next, understand the components of a carefully crafted campaign as outlined in the book and see how your talents fit into the campaign plan. At times, the pastor, again, is the right person to ask. At times, the pastor is not the right person, and asking could be construed as arm twisting or laying on a guilt trip. It could also be that when the pastor asks non-church members, it could be seen as evangelizing, which is not the main focus of the campaign at the moment. Number 5, keep the vision in front of the people in appropriate ways. Most of us are very visual rather than auditory, and typically we get all the message better if it's both visual and auditory. In today's world, people give to outcomes, not to problems. For example, you might say, "Our fellowship hall roof leaks every time it rains. I'm so tired of emptying buckets and sopping up water. Please give to the roof fund before the next storm." Better said would be, "Our fellowship hall roof leaks, as I'm sure you are all aware. Vacation Bible School is coming up in June, and in order to host this soul-winning event, we must get our roof repaired. Won't it be great to have all those little children in there and learning about the love of Jesus, singing their hearts out? That gives us 6 months to take care of this matter. Let's join together and make this a priority for the children of our community." Urgency is good. Emergency makes us wary and feel defeated. Remember that without a vision, the people perish. Urge committees and those working on the campaign to stay on track while not being the taskmaster. Let them know how much you appreciate their time and efforts. Gently guide them and remind them of the goals and priorities that have been set. Number 7, keep up morale. the sense of excitement, the focus on positive outcomes. You are the head cheerleader. Wear your pom-poms. And lastly, pray. Then pray some more for wisdom, for strength, for leadership skills, and for the ability to be a role model in this endeavor. Pray for hearts to be touched and for God to go before you, to touch the hearts in the ways that He desires. A campaign can be revitalizing or devastating. The pastor's paradox comes in several forms: roles to play, tasks to accomplish, knowing when to act and when to be behind the scenes, and being a major part of the campaign while not letting it be just the pastor's campaign. Now it's my turn to have the pom-poms. Be of good courage. There's nothing more exciting than witnessing how God inspires others and how dollars come from people and places you would have never guessed in a million years. It's all by His ultimate design. He is glorified through giving. We are merely His instruments in creating everlasting joy. May God richly bless your efforts and your leadership.